76 terrifying secrets the Vatican is hiding from us. Forbidden knowledge and suppressed truths. Behind the gilded walls of the Vatican lies one of the most secretive vaults in human history. Beneath the crucifixes and cathedrals are stories, terrifying, bizarre, and often unbelievable. For centuries, whispers have persisted, rumors of the Church hiding dangerous truths from the world. Today, we venture into the depths of this mystery, uncovering 76 terrifying secrets the Vatican may be concealing from us all. 1. The Vatican Secret Archives. Let's begin beneath the surface, literally. Hidden underneath the Vatican lies a labyrinth of over 50 miles of shelves, storing more than 1,200 years of history, the Vatican Secret Archives. Although rebranded in 2019 as the Vatican Apostolic Archive, access is still heavily restricted. Only select scholars with specific approval are allowed entry, and only a tiny fraction of the documents have ever been seen by the public. Why the secrecy? Among the rumored contents, records of the Inquisition, lost Gospels, letters between popes and dictators, and even supposed proof of extraterrestrial contact. Some even believe it contains the real truth about Jesus' bloodline. Behind those locked doors could be knowledge that would upend our understanding of religion and history itself. 2. The Gospel of Judas. Narrator. In 2006, a document exploded into public view, a text lost for nearly 1,700 years, the Gospel of Judas. Unlike traditional Christian teachings that portray Judas as a traitor, this gospel presents him as the most loyal disciple, chosen by Jesus to betray him as part of a divine plan. The Vatican has never recognized the gospel as legitimate, but its implications are staggering. If true, it suggests betrayal was not sin but sacred duty, and that the Church's entire doctrine of salvation might be built on a misunderstood story. 2. The Gospel of Judas. In 2006, a document exploded into public view, a text lost for nearly 1,700 years, the Gospel of Judas. Unlike traditional Christian teachings that portray Judas as a traitor, this gospel presents him as the most loyal disciple, chosen by Jesus to betray him as part of a divine plan. The Vatican has never recognized the gospel as legitimate, but its implications are staggering. If true, it suggests betrayal was not sin but sacred duty, and that the Church's entire doctrine of salvation might be built on a misunderstood story. Why reject it? Perhaps because the Church cannot afford to rewrite its oldest narrative. 3. The suppressed role of the divine feminine. In many early Christian texts and pre-Christian traditions, the divine feminine, the sacred role of women, was central. From Isis to Sophia, goddesses were seen as the bringers of wisdom, creation, and spiritual power. Some researchers believe the Vatican holds scrolls, codices, and records of goddess-centered rituals systematically erased from Christian history. Could Mary Magdalene have been more than a repentant sinner? Could she have been a spiritual equal, or even the wife of Jesus? Certain documents, such as the Gospel of Philip, hint at a lost theology where women held sacred leadership. Now, if these records exist in the archives, revealing them could shift the gender power structure of modern Christianity. 4. The Fourth Secret of Fatima. In 1917, 3 children in Fatima, Portugal, claimed to receive apocalyptic visions from the Virgin Mary. 3 secrets were eventually revealed: warnings of war, suffering, and the fall of the Church. But what if there was a 4th secret, one never released to the public? Some insiders, including high-ranking clergy, believe the 4th secret predicts a global crisis involving technology, a false church rising within Rome, or even contact with non-human intelligence. The Vatican has always denied such claims, but the mystery remains. Why were parts of Mary's message sealed away for decades, and possibly still hidden today? 5. Pope Pius XII and the Nazis. During World War II, Pope Pius XII remained publicly silent about the Holocaust. Critics argue his silence was complicity. Supporters claim it was a strategic choice to protect Catholics in Nazi-occupied territories. But what lies in the Vatican's locked drawers? Letters, telegrams, and private communications between the Holy See and the Third Reich could reveal whether the Pope knew more and did less than he admitted. Recently, limited access has been granted to researchers, but large portions remain redacted. Could the truth shatter the moral authority of the Church, or reveal a darker web of alliances hidden beneath the robes of piety? 6. The Index of Forbidden Books. For nearly 400 years, the Vatican maintained a list of books that were banned, prohibited from being read, owned, or distributed by any Catholic under penalty of excommunication. It was called the Index Librorum Prohibitorum. Among the titles? Works by Galileo, Copernicus, and even Descartes, books that questioned doctrine, explored science, or examined alternative philosophies. Though officially abolished in 1966, many scholars argue that the Vatican still quietly discourages certain texts. And what about the books that were destroyed before anyone could read them? What dangerous ideas was the Church so afraid of that they— 7. The Vatican and the occult. You may be surprised to learn that some of the world's most detailed occult manuscripts reside within the Vatican Library, not to condemn, but to preserve. Ancient grimoires, alchemical texts, and ritual handbooks are said to be stored deep within the archives. Some of these texts predate Christianity, while others delve into angelology, demonology, and magical rites. Why keep them? Some believe the Church feared the power they might unleash if misunderstood. Others suggest that hidden Vatican scholars secretly studied these for centuries, blending faith with forbidden knowledge. 8. The lost years of Jesus. The Bible tells us about Jesus' birth, a brief moment at age 12 and then nothing until he turns 30. 18 years of silence. Where was he? What was he doing? Some fringe scholars and mystics claim the Vatican holds ancient scrolls or Eastern manuscripts suggesting Jesus traveled to India, studied with Buddhists, or even trained in Egyptian mystery schools. If true, this would place Christ's teachings within a broader spiritual tradition, challenging the idea that Christianity is wholly separate from other religions. Could the Church be hiding a more universal version of its Savior? 9. Exorcism files and demonic encounters. The Vatican has long authorized exorcists, priests specially trained to cast out demons. But what the public sees is only a fraction of the real story. Hidden in vaults are thousands of detailed reports, case studies, and recordings of alleged possessions and encounters with non-human entities. Some are said to be so disturbing they were sealed forever. Others reportedly involve multiple witnesses, supernatural physical changes, or unexplained deaths. Are these just psychological cases, or proof that something darker truly walks among us? 10. The Chronovisor. A mysterious device allegedly built in the 1950s by Father Pellegrino Ernetti, a Benedictine monk. The Chronovisor. Said to be a kind of time viewer, this machine could reportedly see into the past, projecting historical events like a hologram. Ernetti claimed to have seen Christ's crucifixion with it. The Vatican has always denied the existence of such a device, but Ernetti's deathbed confession, coupled with strange leaks and photos, keep the legend alive. If it's real and in Vatican possession, it would be one of the most powerful secrets in human history, the ability to witness the truth of the past. 11. The Prophecy of the Popes. In 1595, a manuscript surfaced containing 112 cryptic Latin phrases, each one describing a future pope. It was attributed to Saint Malachy, a 12th century Irish archbishop. The prophecy ends with the current or next pope. It foretells the destruction of Rome and the final judgment. The Vatican dismisses the text as a forgery, yet many believers argue that the last few popes closely match the prophecy's coded descriptions. Why hasn't the Church clarified or condemned the prophecy outright? Is it because they fear it may actually be true? 12. Vatican Bank Scandals. The Vatican Bank, officially known as the Institute for the Works of Religion, has been at the center of money laundering allegations, mafia connections, and mysterious deaths. In 1982, banker Roberto Calvi was found hanging from Blackfriars Bridge in London, a suspected Masonic ritual killing. He was dubbed God's banker. Documents suggest deep financial ties between the Vatican, secret societies, and criminal networks. Despite internal reforms, many believe that the financial heart of the Vatican still hides accounts linked to dictators, oligarchs, and black market empires. 13. The Lucifer Telescope. Yes, you heard that right. On Mount Graham in Arizona, a powerful telescope known as LUCIFER is operated in collaboration with the Vatican. It stands for Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with Camera and Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research. But the unsettling acronym and the Vatican's interest in deep space has sparked conspiracy theories. Some believe they are searching for extraterrestrial life. Others claim they're watching something they don't want the public to know about. What is the Church looking for in the stars? 14. The Vatican and MK Ultra connections declassified. CIA documents reveal the horrors of Project MK Ultra, mind control experiments conducted on unwilling subjects. Some researchers argue that the Vatican had indirect links to the program through clergy who worked with intelligence services during the Cold War. The lines between faith, manipulation, and control blur in these hidden corridors. Are there documents in the Vatican archives detailing psychological experiments, or worse, participation? What happens when a sacred institution meddles in the manipulation of the human mind? 15. The missing Vatican apostolic letters. Over the centuries, popes have sent thousands of secret apostolic letters, personal messages meant for monarchs, military leaders, and secret agents. Some of these letters have gone missing. Others are locked away. What did they contain? Orders of war? Instructions to hide relics? Or blessings for covert missions? What if the Church's influence in global affairs is far? 16. Hidden relics of Jesus Christ. Some say the Vatican holds fragments of the true cross, the Holy Grail, and even the crown of thorns worn by Jesus. These relics, if authentic, are among the most powerful objects in Christian history, but access is heavily restricted and their locations are rarely disclosed. Why keep them hidden? Is it to preserve them, or to prevent the world from questioning their authenticity? If these artifacts are proven fake, it could undermine centuries of worship and belief. 17. The Vatican's role in the Crusades rewritten. The Church's version of the Crusades often emphasizes spiritual warfare, but hidden letters and military records suggest something more brutal: massacres, land grabs, and secret deals with Muslim leaders. Some historians believe Vatican archives contain the true financial motives behind these holy wars. Was it about faith or gold, power, and influence? 18. The Vatican and the Treaty of Verona. Rarely discussed, the Treaty of Verona of 1822 allegedly granted the Vatican the ability to influence world governments and suppress freedom of speech, religion, and democratic movements. Some conspiracy theorists believe this treaty still influences global politics behind closed doors. If Vatican documents confirm this, it would suggest that religious power has deeply penetrated secular governments. 19. Suppressed writings of early Christianity. Dozens of ancient texts, the Gospel of Mary, the Gospel of Thomas, and others, were excluded from the official Bible. Some of these texts present radically different views of Jesus, sin, and salvation. The Vatican has preserved many, but refuses to acknowledge them publicly. What if early Christianity was far more diverse and mystical than we've been taught? 20. Secrets of the Jesuit Order. Founded in 1540, the Jesuits became known for education, missions, and intellectual rigor. But behind their reputation lies a veil of secrecy. The Jesuit oath, if authentic, swears allegiance to the Pope above all else, even committing acts of violence to protect the Church. Some believe the Jesuits operate like a shadow network, influencing governments, science, and intelligence agencies. What role do they play today, and how much power do they still hold? 21. The Vatican and the Chronovisor. An alleged time-viewing device known as the Chronovisor is said to be hidden within the Vatican. Invented by Father Pellegrino Ernetti, a Benedictine monk and physicist, the device supposedly allowed users to witness past events, including the crucifixion of Christ. Ernetti claimed the Chronovisor was dismantled to protect humanity from its implications, but some insist the machine still exists, secretly used by the Vatican to observe historical. 22. The Vatican's involvement with Nazi escape routes. After World War II, many high-ranking Nazis mysteriously disappeared. Some escaped through so-called rat lines to South America. Evidence has emerged suggesting that Vatican clergy provided false documents in safe passage, often through neutral countries like Switzerland. Why would a religious institution aid war criminals? Was it ideology or self-preservation? 23. Secret exorcisms and demonic archives. The Vatican trains exorcists and keeps records of demonic possessions, hauntings, and unexplained phenomena. These records are not open to the public. Some claim the Church is sitting on hundreds of files documenting supernatural events. Is the Vatican protecting us from the truth or concealing a spiritual war that continues in silence? 24. Hidden writings of Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, once condemned by the Church, is now hailed as a genius. But some of his lesser-known writings, supposedly confiscated during the Inquisition, may still lie in Vatican vaults. These documents allegedly include schematics for advanced machines and coded theories that challenge Church doctrine. Why hold them back? Could Da Vinci have unlocked secrets not meant for his time or ours? 25. The Vatican's role in global intelligence. Throughout history, the Vatican has been a hub of communication between monarchs, empires, and nations. But in the 20th century, it became entangled in modern intelligence networks. Some suggest the Holy See shares classified information with agencies like the CIA and MI6, trading spiritual influence for geopolitical leverage. Is the Vatican merely a religious entity or one of the oldest intelligence networks in the world? 26. The secret of the Vatican Necropolis. Beneath St. Peter's Basilica lies the Vatican Necropolis, a burial ground older than Christianity itself. Here, archaeologists discovered what is believed to be the tomb of St. Peter. But some say the Vatican has unearthed older secrets, pre-Christian symbols, pagan altars, even mummified remains that rewrite Rome's spiritual history. What else lies buried in this sacred underground city? 27. The Black Pope Conspiracy. The Superior General of the Jesuits is often referred to as the Black Pope. Unlike the visible Pope in white, The Black Pope operates behind the scenes, with rumors of immense political and financial power. Some believe he holds more real control over Vatican policy than the official pontiff. Does this secret hierarchy steer the direction of the Church from the shadows? 28. The Vatican and UFO disclosure. Over the years, Vatican officials have made 29. The Index of Forbidden Books. From the 16th century until 1966, the Church maintained a list of banned books. Authors like Galileo, Voltaire, and Descartes were condemned. But even now, the spirit of censorship remains alive. Hidden manuscripts and unapproved theological works are kept locked away. What dangerous ideas does the Church still fear? 30. The Vatican's secret dealings with corporations. Some leaked documents suggest the Vatican has held shares in oil companies, arms manufacturers, and even pharmaceutical giants. Despite its image of humility, the Church's financial network stretches across continents. Does spiritual authority justify economic empire building? Or is it a betrayal of sacred trust? 31. The Vatican's silence on apparitions. Across the globe, mysterious apparitions of the Virgin Mary have been reported, some accompanied by miracles, others by mass hysteria. But the Vatican is selective in acknowledging these events. Why some and not others? Could it be that the Church is suppressing messages that challenge its power, or reveal prophetic warnings we're not meant to hear? 32. Vatican Archives on Lost Civilizations. It's rumored the Vatican Library holds manuscripts detailing ancient civilizations, ones not yet discovered or long forgotten. Could these secret documents reveal that humanity's true history is far older and more complex than what we're told? What if the Church holds evidence of pre-human or non-human societies? 33. Suppressed Gospel of Judas. Long buried in the sands of Egypt, the Gospel of Judas paints a radically different picture of Jesus and his betrayer. Rather than being a villain, Judas is portrayed as the one who understood Jesus' true mission. The Vatican has acknowledged its existence, but avoids public discussion. Why is this narrative so threatening? 34. The Church's involvement in genetic ethics. The Vatican often speaks out on bioethics, stem cell research, cloning, gene editing, but it also funds institutions that explore these very fields. Behind closed doors is the Church influencing the future of human evolution. Could moral control be masking deeper ambitions? 35. The secret manuscript of Malachi's prophecy. Saint Malachi, a 12th century Irish monk, predicted every pope from his time to the end of days. His list ends with a mysterious Peter the Roman. Some believe the final pope is already in power, and the end of the Church, or the world, is near. Why won't the Vatican confirm or deny the authenticity of this prophecy?